Okay, go live. I am live, apparently. Okay, so I'm on YouTube. I'm live. It's under test. Oh, farting.
Is it public?
Yes, it's public. This is a test, everybody. Go on to the witches bazaar if you've already got it. I think. Is it called test? Yeah, it's called test. Oh my goodness. You got me? You got me, yeah? Aha! You can hear me. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Lexi.
Speak.
Woof! That's what we say to Murphy. Speak. And he says, woof! Oh my goodness. It's telling me, please check video resolution. Oh my god. I wish it would stop saying that stuff to me. I don't want to check my resolution, thank you. Don't want to do that. Okay. So, let me just, if I can do that on the fly. Ooh. Okay. We're going to do it now. We're going to redo it because we didn't have any sound before. How ridiculous is that? You can't have a video with no sound.
Nice.
What?
Sound quality is nice.
Is it? Okay. Oh, actually, no, I'll leave that that thumbnail because it's quite cool, actually. Right, so let me just go and is there a link I can share, or can you share the link in? Can you share the link for me? I don't have, what's that there? Share. Ooh!
No, I can.
Hey?
I can.
Can you share it into the group for me and just let people know?
What is that?
Into the Path of Witchcraft for me. Okay. Oh my god, I can't believe we've got to do this again. Anyway, it'd be more fun the second time round. Apparently. Well, at least the mic's working anyway. At least we got sound. Okay. So. Let me just... Oh, I need another post-it note. Okay. I'm flipping between pages here in my mini book of shadows. So bear with me a second while I just put a marker in there. Right, so we're doing the talk again because we didn't have any sound before. Oh my god. I didn't realise that because I didn't realise that. I thought the sound was working. Okay. Ian, could you just pass me the cigarettes? I need a cigarette. It's a bit stressful. Oh dear. Never mind. But we're here now. We've got sound. Thank you. Oh, we've got Whistler. Thank you. Okay, so we got there in the end. Welcome all to... Well, it's kind of our second, but it's also our first live tube. Live tube? Oh, fucking hell. I've even lost the ability to talk now. YouTube live. Oh, dear. So I'm doing it as a public one as well because it seemed that when you do a private one, it just fucks it all up, to be honest. So in future, we'll do these as public. And anything that we want to do, like private, we'll do as in the group, in the Path of Witchcraft group. But this one is public. Woohoo! Okay, so let me just finish rolling this and then I'll be alright with you. So, tomorrow marks the end of the world. No, not really. But it marks the end of Mercury retro. Which, for us, actually, has been kind of weird tech stuff going on. And the usual thing about sleeping more, sleeping heavier. Which is really peculiar for me because I'm of a certain age. I'm going through, you know, strange changes. A bit like puberty, but the other end. So for me, it's like I don't really sleep a lot until Mercury comes along, goes retro, and then I'm just like, God, bloody hell, what about sleep? So I don't know how Mercury retro has been for you guys out there. Obviously, the stuff around communication can get a bit muddied. Travel can be a bit of a challenge. Obviously, tech stuff. New projects can become tricky. So, Mercury retro energy is more focusing on completing old projects, written ones especially. Being really, getting really clear on, what you want, is a really good thing for Mercury retro. Research, study, planning, and creating through your internal process something which you will then later share when Mercury goes direct. So it's very much about the internal process. So if you are a process person, you will be in heaven when Mercury goes retro. If you are more outcome, then obviously when Mercury goes direct and you can spread the word, that's more your kind of area of expertise. So it's definitely around preparing something which will then bring a later manifestation. Yeah. So that was the kind of March energy. And obviously the Wheel of the Year for March is all around clearing the decks. So emotionally, mentally, physically. Because then that brings in new energy. And also planting the seeds for what you want to manifest, which you will then harvest. You'll manifest your, you will harvest your manifestations, whatever that might be for you. Through the coming months, depending on what kind of time frame you're setting on your intention. For instance, for us, we have a long-term goal, but then there are things we can do, like steps, if you like. We chunk it down. I think that's an old business term, chunking it down into bits where we can, do like 3-month intentions, for example, which will take us further and further to where we want to be. So the next Mercury retrograde will be July, yeah, but we're gonna get there. We'll get there. So the moon work, because obviously this is tying Wheel of the Year into planetary stuff and also moon phases. So what I found when I because it was end of last year, it hit me. Okay. What I needed to do to super hone our magic work, and that was around integrating these three things. And what was really interesting when I sat down and actually did the work, in segmenting everything and then bringing it all together, was it fit like it was supposed to be, yeah. So that was really interesting for me, that whole process. So what we did in March to tap that energy, The dark moon in March, we did Widdershins work connecting to the element of earth and resonating. So that would banish any kind of lack of anything, because earth element is all about abundance. Yeah. I don't think I put that up in the group, actually. There was a spell for better communication. Although, because I'm wearing the Larimar, that tends to happen on a minute basis anyway. The full moon, we carried on that element of earth work, and we tapped into the energy of Ariane Rod and the earth element, which was really powerful. I know some of you who might be watching now got really, really massive results from that ritual. Yeah. So we're now into the waning moon of March. So there's a lot of streamlining going on. Everything from the website to even doing this, the YouTube stuff, because we're growing our YouTube audience. So, by tapping into that, that's streamlining the whole process, because I haven't then got to, do it in Facebook, upload it to YouTube, and then share it everywhere else. I can just put it straight here. This will be shared in our new witchcraft social media platform, by the way, which is thepathofwitchcraft.com. Go and sign up, because it's very cool. So yeah, the waning moon is all around, continuing to streamline things. And I've got a bit of streamlining to do with my email client. And then also, as we're still kind of in the Mercury retro. So there are edits on written stuff that I'm doing. So it's been an interesting month. But moving forward, so we got April. So Mercury goes back direct tomorrow, but it can be a bit bumpy either end. So just be aware of that. So as a planet goes into retrograde and then comes out, you get a little bit of turbulence. Yeah, think of it that way. So it can be a little bit bumpy, so just bear with it. Yeah. So April. So in April, we've got a few planets doing the backward walk. We got Jupiter on the 10th, goes retrograde. Pluto on the 24th goes retro, and Saturn on the 30th goes retro. So you might be thinking, oh my God, it's too much. It's not, I promise. Because what these do is they add more layers to hone your magic work. Yeah, it's like putting it through a filter. So the more filters you have, actually what you get at the end of it is something very, very pure and very, very specific. Yeah. That's how I see it anyway. So Jupiter retrograde energy is very much about working on your inner abundance. And for any of you who were in the Path of Witchcraft group last year, we did that all the way through the Mercury retrograde. And it was a really interesting journey, actually. I think for all of us. Also, Jupiter retro energy very much around reviewing our visions, our ideas and our beliefs. So you can do like a quick check before you start putting your action into your intentions. Just, it's like checking your boat or your car before you make a long journey. You just check that everything's working all right. Is everything ready to go? Yeah, let's go. That's that kind of energy to Jupiter retro. And the Wheel of the Year, which fits, is all about action and journeying. Yeah. So it very much ties into, and also Pluto retro. So Pluto retrograde is all around the energy of how are my actions actually affecting the transformation that I want to make. And also how am I dealing with those changes? Because, it can bring up the fight or flight when you start making changes. So there's that energy of Pluto come in. So you can already see how it's going to fine tune your manifesting process. your spell work, your magic work. And then when Saturn comes in, the end of April, that's then looking at your long-term goals. Yeah. So while you're keeping one eye on, your long-term goal, you're, getting those interim results, if you like. And also Saturn retro very much focuses on how we deal with those blocks. So it's the perfect energy to tap into at this time, in April. So how we face those blocks on our transformational path, and also restructuring anything that needs restructuring as we course correct. So this whole energy of Jupiter, Pluto and Saturn in retrograde continues into May. The Wheel of the Year energy for May is very much about nurturing your intention or your goal. So you're feeding it. So like a mojo bag, for example, you feed the mojo bag. A really good kind of way to do that is to feed it once a day for a week. Once a day for a week, once a week for a month, once a month for a year, and then once a year. So you build up the energy in your mojo bag, and you get it to the point where it only actually needs topping up once a year, which is really cool. Unless you want to create a new mojo bag once a year, and then that's fine as well. So the Wheel of the Energy year for May, incorporating obviously the retrograde planets that are going on, also working towards your intention. So that brings in the movement, so that's like that continued action and that journeying going on, and also reaffirming your intentions or your goals as well. Now moon work for April and May. We've got dark moon April. So there's for the April dark moon, the idea is, and this isn't set in stone obviously, to be open, to do a ritual, to be open to new teachings. New to full would be around increasing study, moving more into inner expansion, maybe increasing kind of like the movement. So maybe going out, doing like attending events, that kind of thing. Being in places which are in line with where you want to be. That's a big one. And then we get to the full moon in April. So that would be more inner expansion, maybe drawing down the moon. Excuse me. Obviously, you can tailor this to your own intention. I'm just giving you an example of what we will be doing. And then the waning moon is all about releasing, for me, will all be all about releasing fear. So releasing fear and blocks to inner transformation. And then when Saturn kicks in at the end of April, releasing fear and blocks to inner transformation to achieve long-term goals, so you can focus it even more. And then we get to May. So the kind of moon work for May would be the dark moon in May would be around, for me, banishing any blocks that have come up, anything that's stopping the manifesting process. So if things aren't quite manifesting as we want, we can banish what that block is. So that'd be around the dark moon. New to full, again, around inner expansion, reviewing if something isn't working, course correcting if necessary, reorganizing, new ideas, long-term goals. And then we get to the full moon, which for me would be a prosperity ritual, an inner prosperity ritual, for inner transformation, really. And then the waning moon in May would be around decreasing obstacles and blocks. And then that moves into we're camping in May, so that kind of brings in the movement for us as well. So that was April and May. Now when we get to June, we have the same energies of Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn being in retrograde, and then in June in comes Neptune as well. Now, retro Neptune brings in, it's very much about spirituality. So this connects with the witchcraft, inner work, yeah, and focusing on your vision. I mean, couldn't get more perfect, because the Wheel of the Year energy is around inner growth, growth of your intention, you're manifesting what you're manifesting, the results, and also celebrating those interim results as you move towards your goal, yeah. Which then, when you see these results happening, it strengthens your intention, it consolidates it, and if it's not quite showing up as you want it, course correct, tweak it a bit, and get back on track, yeah. June is also very much about maximum effort, so really putting all into what you are trying to manifest, because you've still got a couple of months for stuff to grow, so you want to chuck as much energy as you can at it, yeah, so that it blossoms come lunar side. So June moon work. So the dark moon, I think for me that would be doing the dark moon deity stuff, because that goes really deep into and asks you the questions of what do you really want. So it's a really good way to reaffirm what you want, yeah. New to full moon would be about increasing new opportunities for inner expansion, inner transformation, and moving towards long-term goals, yeah. Like I say, none of this is set in stone. You can put your own twist on it. I'm just giving you an example of what kind of magic work with the lunar phases I want to be doing. And then the full moon in June would be around celebrating the strength of your inner expansion, because when you do that inner work, there's a very deep foundation that you are building on with that, yeah. So celebration of the strength of your inner expansion, your inner vision and goal setting. So that will probably involve a drawing down of the moon, yeah, because it's very powerful when you invoke moon energy. I've got chills running up my spine just saying it. With the waning moon, that would be around decreasing any blocks which are still present and removing them with a banishing, maybe using meditation. And then we get into July. So July. So by July, I would like to see you seeing some quite big results. We wouldn't be fully there yet, although you might be. But I'd like to see you manifesting some really, really good results, yeah, from your magic work. So we've got Jupiter, Neptune, Saturn, Pluto, all retrograde. Yeah. Sounds a lot, but it hones your magic work, yeah. And then in comes Mercury on the 7th of July. So what does that do? What does that bring? And what it does is it brings in another energy. So it gets you maybe preparing stuff that you're going to put out to the world, yeah. So you're building, you're nurturing your intentions, you're kind of reaffirming things, yeah, by using your creativity in this way during Mercury retrograde. Planning, study, research, updating, your course correcting if you need to. It all falls under that Mercury retrograde, yeah. As well as these other qualities that are still there through these other retrograde planets. So Jupiter, Neptune, Saturn, Pluto. Yeah, they're still in retrograde in July. And what's really interesting is that the Wheel of the Year energy for July is all around personal growth. So that's the inner work. Yeah. Learning new ways to be creative. So that's definitely falls into the Mercury retrograde thing, where you're using your creativity in a very internal way before you share it out to the world. Yeah. Also cultivating friendships. So a very good time to, because the sun's out, it's warm in most parts of the world, not necessarily here in the UK, I have to say. So it's a very good time for really getting friendships started, if you like. So the moon work that I'm kind of thinking about for July. So the dark moon in July. All I've got written down here is Ariane Rod ritual. So that could be anything. But she is the weaver of fate through space and time. So it'd probably be around, ideas for, weaving through the gaps, which is what this work does as well. It makes you so finely honed with your magic work that you can weave through the gaps in the universe. That's what using retrograde planetary energies is all about. You don't fear them. You don't try and run away from them. You use them. Yeah? Use them in your magic. That makes you a really empowered witch, because then you haven't got to wait around for, I've got to wait until Mercury goes direct again before I can do anything. No! Rubbish! So the new to full moon. I haven't written much down there because we will be away at that particular point. But what will come when we do camping, there's always inner personal growth. The traveling on its own is a meditation, and because we carry all of our kit, so it actually becomes a meditation and a creative process all of its own. Even lighting the fire, that's a creative process, obviously. And you got the movement as well. And I've put full moon packing. So that's what I'll be doing on the full moon. This is quite funny. The waning moon in July will be around, for me, studying, researching to improve inner expansion. So, if you can bring in stuff that just makes it, amplifies it, yeah, then that's all good. Also to improve inner transformation and your vision, and also keeping your long-term goals on track. So again, that would involve decreasing anything that is getting in the way of your manifesting process. And then we're into August. Whoops. Turn the page. So August. So in August, Jupiter goes direct. So what is really cool about that? Last year in the Path of Witchcraft group, we actually did internal expansion work, inner expansion work through Mercury retrograde, and then when it came to do the Jupiter retrograde, not Mercury, Jupiter direct, it was such a different feeling, yeah. Because what happens is all that inner work then gets put out, yeah, to the world. You use that knowledge that you've gained from that inner work to put out to the world, yeah, in whatever way you find creatively. And also Uranus goes retro in August. Let me just double check when that is. I think that is, you can read it. Can you read my writing? 12th of August. Uranus goes retrograde. What that brings is very much about your inner freedom. So the thing with setting intentions or goals is that somewhere in there would be an element of inner freedom to it. So you could really focus on that and tap that energy. You might have to sit and, figure that out, but that's part of the process, yeah? Uranus retro, yeah. So the other thing about Jupiter direct is that when you put your creativity, your inner expansion work out there, it's like you're harvesting your creativity, if that makes sense, which absolutely taps into the energy of August, which is all about harvest. The 1st of August, lunar Sat, first harvest. So you're harvesting the manifestations that have come about through your transformational work, yeah? So your results have become manifest. So you harvest them and you celebrate them, yeah? But at the same time, there's still stuff to do because you might not be quite there yet. You might be. But there's very much more nurturing to do, more feeding of these intentions. So there's more effort needed. Yes, you can really ramp this up as like a, not quite a last hurrah, but nearly. So because you've still got other planets in retrograde, you're still reflecting on the transformation. Yeah, there's still that inner reflection going on. Also of your long-term goals. So keeping that in your mind. Maybe reconnecting with things that you might have put down before that you might then want to bring back in. Inner freedoms, inner focus, so meditation, yoga, kundalini, all those kinds of things. Bring your attention inward, yeah. And also planning a celebration. That's very much what August is about. And August also kind of resonates to two deities that I quite like, Odin and Lu. Obviously, Lunarsad is Lu's celebration. So it's very much around, you are starting to see the results and really reap the rewards of the work that you've done. Yeah. So that's kind of the first half, if you like. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the second half of the year. I'm going to do another one of these in July, yeah, because I think there's enough there to be getting on with. That spans, how many months is that? That's 5 months, yeah. To, when I say plan, I mean these things, they tend to be loose plans because you might not do all the things on your list. I'm probably not going to do all the moon stuff on this list, but once you have a plan in place, you can pick and choose which ones you want to do, yeah. And you haven't got to sit there thinking, oh god, what am I going to do for this one, because you've already got it written down, yeah. You've got a plan. And like I say, what I found really interesting when I did this is that it all fit together. The retro planetary movements and the wheel of the year absolutely fit together, and then just tailoring moon stuff to that is just, I think it's so empowering, and it's highly creative. So, pardon me. Oh, I was going to talk about, hang on, where's the August moon stuff? Let me just grab that as well. So, yeah, dark moon in August actually falls on Lunarsad in the UK. It might be different elsewhere, but for the UK, it actually falls on Lunarsad. So the idea around that is to ask Lu to banish any restrictions that might be blocking nurturing, our manifesting process to get to our soul's desire. And then the new to full moon, definitely celebration for what we have already harvested. And keeping that energy high, because there's still more harvests to come. Yeah. You've got Mabon in September, and then you've got because Samhain is also as the third harvest. That's the last harvest of the year. So more transformation, moving towards long-term goals, inner freedom, meditation, that kind of thing. The full moon would definitely be, because it falls around Jupiter going direct, that would be a massive prosperity spell. I've got here outer expansion Jupiter, but prosperity spell underlined, yeah? So big prosperity spell for the new moon in August. And then the waning moon goes into invoking your inner power, yeah? And removing any blocks to accessing your inner power. And then the dark moon kind of carries that on through if there's anything left by the dark moon, banish it, yeah? Banish any remaining blocks to accessing my inner power. And then we go, because there were 2 dark moons in August, that's right. And then we got a new to full moon, which will be around increasing that inner power through meditation, movement, inner freedom, focus, and whatever else you want to throw in there as well. And then we get into September with the full moon, which is, again, working on this inner power and invoking the power within. It's actually a spell for reverence, rejoicing, protection, reflection, inner freedom, vision, and tranquility, harvest. So that takes us to like the beginning of September. Like I say, in July, I will do the second part of this kind of talk. And it's really just it's an idea that I just think it's really powerful to use those energies rather than, get all your knickers in a twist about them, because that's a pointless exercise. So we can really work with these retrograde planetary energies to really increase our manifesting skills. So yeah, that's all I've got to say on that. But if you want to ask questions, in the last one, because the video was private, not only did it have no sound, but I couldn't see the comments either because it was a private video. I didn't realise that when I set it up to be private. The reason I set it up to be private was because our group's private, but, fuck it, let's share this with the world. So if you've got any questions, feel free to type in the chat box. I'm going to give it maybe 10-15 minutes, so if you've got any questions, you can type them in the chat box, which is on the right-hand side of where my lovely face is. And if you're watching the replay, just type them below. Now, the links that we've posted in the group and on the Witchcraft social media website, I will change those, because it's the video that's got no sound up there at the moment. So I will change those so you can comment below those afterwards as well. You're welcome, Lexi. I hope you found it useful. I mean, I think this is really powerful work, actually. And what's really interesting is when you see these things, these results manifesting, and they can, sometimes it can be the smallest little thing that you do that creates a big ripple effect, in your vibrational state, moving towards where you want to go to. And it can be, like I say, it can be the tiniest little things that you change, which, you know, create the biggest changes. It's quite amazing. If any of you here are soul realignment clients, you'll know, or if you're doing the advanced witchcraft course, you'll know that what we talk about in there is knowing where you want to go. First of all, that's always good, and knowing what kind of vibrational state you want to work towards, and then tweaking things so that you fall into that vibrational state. Yeah, it's amazing. If any of you are interested in I can actually post the links now. Oh my goodness. So let me just grab the link for you. So our advanced witchcraft course is the one where we talk about Murphy. What's he barking at? The advanced witchcraft course is the one where we actually talk about your manifesting process, yeah, and how you can really hone that. And then I'll also share about soul realignment, because there are still 4 spaces left on our advanced witchcraft course which qualify for a free soul realignment reading. If you want a reading separate from our advanced witchcraft course, it costs you £250 for a reading, and there is ongoing support there. So my internet slowed right down, bear with me while I grab the other link. So there's a link there for our advanced witchcraft course. Don't know why that's doing that. That's really strange. Oh, can't be reached. Why can't it be reached? Stop it. Oh, Mercury retrograde, we love you. That's the other thing, you know, tech stuff, Mercury retrograde. So if techie things haven't quite been going right, then that's why. It's always good to back up your data before Mercury goes retrograde. Let me just go back and see if I can... it's not doing anything now. Oh dear. Let me just see if I can go there now. Can I go there? No, it still won't do it. Oh my goodness. Well, if you go to our website, which is bizarre.com, and you go to what's in it for you, down to therapies and service, if you click on there, there is a link to soul realignment. So you can go and have a look and see what that's all about, really. And if you want to join our social media platform just for witches, it's thepathofwitchcraft.com. Okay. No, it still won't load that page. That's really strange. How bizarre. Yeah, so if you want to join our witchcraft social media platform, that's the pathofwitchcraft.com. Okie dokie. So I can't post that link in there because its page still won't load. Oh my goodness. How ridiculous is that? That's mad. Oh, here we go. I went back and it took me to the page. Whoops. No, I didn't want to do that. Copy, not paste. Copy. Okay, so here's info about soul realignment. Okay, if you're interested in either having a reading generally, which obviously £250, or we do offer, we have 4 spaces left that we're offering a free soul realignment reading to our advanced witchcraft students. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this. Apologies for the lack of sound on the original video. Well, it's the first time, so you know. Well, we're here now and we've done it. So, like I say, if you've got any questions, you can comment below the video. It'll also be up on the pathofwitchcraft.com. I won't be sharing it to Facebook. But it'll be here on YouTube as well. So you can catch it here, or you can catch it on thepathofwitchcraft.com. Okay. So we will see you What have we got going on this week? Ooh, where are we? We're not in April yet. Oh my goodness, definitely not in April yet. So we'll be catching you. Well, I'll see you around in the Path of Witchcraft group anyway. But our next event will be Dark Moon on April the 5th. So that'd be quite a nice one. I'm not sure what we're going to be doing yet, but I'm sure it'd be great. Right. So I'm going to go. Like I say, any questions? Comment below. And we will see you soon. Be fearless. Stay witchy.